frustrating thing sometimes with messenger marketing is that the subscriber doesn't continue the conversation by pressing a button or pushing a quick reply button or typing in an answer. I'm going to show you how to keep that conversation going in this video now.
Fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number.
All right, let's get started here. I'm going to show you two different ways that you can keep a conversation going. Let's say somebody gets busy, you send them out a message, and they're not clicking on the button, or they're not clicking on the button, or they're not clicking on a quick reply or selecting on the multiple quick replies. So there's a couple ways that you can kind of keep interacting with them and don't have automated wise. And so let's go through those. First, what I'm going to show you is a flow that I do this with. It's a button, and let's say they got distracted, they didn't click the button. So we're going to ask them again, please click the button. So first we're going to remove a tag. That's the idea, is that I'm going to tag them that they went and filled out the form. They went to my website. We're going to ask them a question, and we're going to ask them to go push the button to go to the website to do it. On the bottom, we're going to continue to another step, and we're going to go to another message that is going to have a 10-second delay, and it's just going to be a blank message. So all you do is put a space in there, and it won't send anything. Basically, it's just a way to be able to delay on the top, only have a delay in a message. And then we're going to delay it, and we're going to do a condition to see if they've been tagged, meaning that they pushed the button, because that's what's going to happen up here. If they push the button, they're going to be tagged. If they are, great. If they're not, we're going to send them another message and then come back again and give them a chance to push the button. So let's publish this and let's preview this. So here we go. Go to my website by pressing the button below to fill out the form. So I'm not going to press it. I'm just going to sit here, and the 10 seconds should be running, and here we go. Please press the button to continue with the sign-up process. Go to my website by pressing the button below to fill out the form. And so you can have any verbiage there. It's just going to keep going. So let's say I just got busy, I didn't do it again, and it's going to go through it again. In 10 seconds, it should come up, ask me again. There we go. Please press the button, continue with the sign-up process, go to the website. And so let's say I finally got back and I can press that. So I pressed it, and there I am. I'm at my website. And now, there it is. Thanks for going to the website. So that was basically this whole flow. And so they got tagged, and they weren't tagged, so they keep on asking them. Once they were tagged, we sent out the message, thanks for going to the website. So that's the process. Now, the one thing is it would continue until I pushed the button. It would continue coming up and asking them that. So one thing you could do is you could put a counter in here, or you could put a tag that if you asked them one time or two times, then you won't ask them again. You'll figure it's just dead. You won't follow up with them again. But that is a way to kind of keep the communication going. You could delay this for a lot longer. You could delay it for 50 seconds. And so you could wait 50 seconds before you ask them again, so you're not annoying. But hopefully that helps. It's a way to keep the conversation going, and you can keep talking to them. And I do have one other way of doing that. Now, let's say you have a bunch of quick replies. And so in this one, what we're going to do is, say in question number 4, we have some quick replies. Actually, here's just one quick reply. We're going to get that. Let's go back out here. I'm going to find a different message. You can do it on any one. That was a text entry. This is a text entry on question 2. I'm going to find question 5. Question 5 is a multiple choice one. As you can see, it's multiple choice. So there's different ways you can do that. It could be on multiple choice. It could be on text. This is a different process because in this one, what I'm doing is I'm asking them a question with a user input field. So they're stopping here versus the button will follow. If you have a button on a message, it's going to fall through if you say continue the next step. This one, I have continue next step, though it's going to sit here and wait for them to reply on here. Because then what I do is I ask them a question, your answer is this, and do you want to change it? I just want to ask them if they're okay with that answer or not. And so they can answer either they're good or they're not. Let me see if I go back to another question, say 3. We have them asking them they wanted to change their answer, change the answer, and they go up to the question number 3. So they get back to question 3. Otherwise, they're going to drop down to question 4. So they have a chance to go back to question 3. So what I did, and I'll get back to, let's say they didn't answer it. They stopped on this one. So they stopped on this, what is your target monthly revenue? And they're just sitting there. It's a text field. They're sitting there waiting. What I've done is, 1, I'm tagging them and what step they are. But number 2 is I'm using sequences to actually re-engage with them. So how that works is I will subscribe them to the sequence. And let's see, it's sequence after 30 minutes, step 5. So if I go out to my sequences and we go to step number 5, what this is in here, first thing I'm going to do is if it's booked. So basically I have a set of 10 questions or so, or 8 questions that I have them go through. And at some point, once they're done, then they're going to go to a calendar and book their appointment. And so I want to make sure that they haven't booked it. Because what's going to happen with these messages, they are delayed. If I go back out here, this is delayed 30 minutes. So I'm giving them enough time to get through the questions. And then once they get subscribed to this will wait 30 minutes. And once it fires off, it's going to say, hey, did they book it? Oh, they did. Then it's done. It won't continue this. And are they exactly at step number 5? Meaning that they stopped at on that question. And if they did, we're going to say, yes, this matches. It's not booked, and they're still at question number 5. So then what I'm going to ask them, I'm going to edit this. I'm going to ask them first, did you finish the strategy call, qualification questions? You didn't finish the strategy call, qualification questions. Are you still interested? If so, use the button below. So what they can do is then they go back to the question. So what's going to happen is this message is going to come in once they didn't fill it out, and let's say 30 minutes later. So it's going to delay it again. They got stuck on question number 3. Let's see, question number 3, and they didn't answer it. So I said, oh, I'm going to come back and ask them if they still want to finish the qualifying questions to do a strategy call. And so if I said, if it isn't booked and it is step number 5, I'm going to do that answer. If not, I'm going to do an action and I'm going to unsubscribe them from the sequence, meaning that either they moved on from the question number 3 or step number 5 of the process, they've moved on, and so I don't have to ask them again because they've already answered my question or pushed the button or whatever they needed to do or filled in the text on that user input, or they're past that or they booked it. So either one is going to be a no, and then I remove them. So it's another way to actually get them to keep the conversation going and use these sequences. And the reason I did that is because in this situation, with a button here, the way the logic goes, the way the code runs on these, it's going to drop down through to this next question where I'm going to delay it and then come back to them if they haven't pushed the button. So that's the difference here, whereas in a quick reply, we go back to the quick reply on these. Go on a quick reply, it's going to wait for the answer. So it's a little different where we can't continue the flow, though with the subscribing them to a sequence, we've already set up the stage to come back to them and continue that conversation. So hopefully that answers it. If you have any questions, just post them down below. I'd be more than happy to help you out. Well, that concludes our video for today on how to get our subscribers to continue that conversation if they haven't pushed a button, where we can delay that, rerouting them back to the question. Or number 2 is using sequences on user input fields. If they haven't answered, we can route them back to that question. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. I'd be happy to answer them. And as always, please like the video, share it across the world, and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on the next video. Down below in the description, I do have a link to a Facebook group, all like-minded people sharing tips and tricks. Come on and join us. We'd happy to have you. And as always, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.